darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? How have you guys been? How's the family? How are the children? How is work? How is life, my darlings? I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. It is what it is. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, my name is Fumidesaluvold. You guys are so very welcome. Well, guess what? TJ Holmes is in the news again. Yes, and yes. Daily Mail, they're on him. He was seen walking around New York with a Zara bag. What did you buy from Zara, TJ? We'd like to know. I love Zara. I live for Zara. I'm wearing Zara. This is Zara. Wait, let me just double check. Wait, yes, it is Zara, you see? Anywho, while my darling TJ awaits his fate, himself and his love interest, Amy Robach, there has been some more revelations about his past. This one is in relation to a 24-year-old ABC intern, 13 years his junior, who sought him out as a mentor. And he ended up what? Having sex with her in his office. Can you believe it? Yeah, himself and Clinton, they seem to love the office. I don't know, maybe it's just something that just gives them this. I did not have sex with that woman. Yes, you did. And we've got the evidence. As a matter of fact, guess what? Jasmine is out here calling it out like it is. This happened in 2015. Yes, she was 24. And you were what? 37. And you had been married, oh God, for 5 years. So, I mean, at the end of the day, this marriage of yours, of which, of course, you're having a divorce, was a hot mess. But even worse, it was a lie. It was a lie. Bless her heart. Anywho, here we have it. And it's giving us all the sordid details. Okay? So let me just read 1 or 2 bits for you and tell you what exactly is going on. Then we'll break it down. TJ Holmes engaged in an affair with his script coordinator, 13 years his junior, who reached out to him as a prospective mentor but was left feeling uncomfortable and used after the relationship turned sexual. According to one well-placed source who wants to be anonymous, the affair with the 24-year-old Jasmine took place in 2015 when Holmes had been married to his now estranged wife, Marilee Fairbank, for 5 years. The source, who knew Petaway well at the time, said he was a predator who took full advantage of his position and he was reckless. It was Jasmine's first real job in television and it was a big deal for her. She was looking for a mentor and she reached out to several people. TJ was someone who was responsive, but he absolutely abused the position of trust, the source said. At the time, Petaway and Holmes, who had joined the ABC News team in September 2014, were often on the same shifts. Source said Holmes was someone who would grab drinks and he and Jasmine started doing that. You must remember he was a correspondent at the time and he's taking time to speak to her about work or whatever. I don't know how long that had been going on before it got sexual, but I do know that the first time it did, it was in the office and he was about to go on air in a couple of hours. The source said Petaway later told them that Holmes called her in his office where she saw he was drinking liquor. There's like this atmosphere shift, almost an expectation that something's going to happen. And it did. They had sex. And I know she was confused afterwards as to what it meant. That kind of, did that just really happen feeling? I mean, that's pretty risky behavior on his part. It was, the source said, part of a pattern of incredibly reckless conduct on Holmes's part. On one occasion, the source said the pair were having drinks together when he got handsy in a very public place and way. They said he just didn't seem to care. You know, he's wearing his ring, he has a wife, he has a relatively high-profile job, but he wasn't acting like he was concerned about either of those things at the time. Petaway and Holmes' sexual relationship continued for several months and included him visiting her at her apartment before it fizzed out. Why am I not surprised? The source said, what's that saying? Rome wasn't built in a day, but it burned in one day. That's how it went with Jasmine and TJ. It didn't last long, but you have to wonder if he ever invested in being a mentor at all. Jasmine was a beautiful girl, and he had it all on his own terms. He was interested and then he wasn't. This was a young woman starting out in a difficult industry, looking for role models and mentors, and she got TJ. No one talked about abuse of power back then, but stuff happened. Petaway went on to become a segment producer for GMA and remained with ABC in New York for 2 years before returning to her hometown in Cleveland in late 2016, where she joined the network's local affiliate. Today, she is an award-winning casting producer for ITV America, married, and the founder of digital women's lifestyle brand Lemon Love. Oh, I love that name. In an online interview with Voyage, Ohio in 2021, she reflected on her departure from New York, saying that it came due to a mixture of insecurity, loneliness, and some naivete. She also admitted ABC's toxic work environment really damaged her self-esteem. Daily Mail has been told that Petaway was not the only female subordinate on whom Holmes put the moves as, according to multiple sources. A young network intern described herself as stressed and freaked out by his unwanted advances. According to the source, that's who he was. Did he ever want to be a professional when it came to Jasmine, or just spoil the fruits he'd been given? I don't know. I just know that he was always looking to be the guy with the swagger. He didn't seem to care that he was married or that he could be risking his job. In fact, Daily Mail has been told that attempts to raise concerns over Holmes' behavioral issues, which included drinking alcohol in his office and before going on air, were rebuffed by at least one executive producer who didn't want to know when told that the star was a huge liability. Indeed, in the aftermath of Daily Mail breaking the news of Holmes' affair with the married GMA co-host Amy Robach last November, word of a prior affair surfaced. In 2016, Holmes began a 3-year fling with GMA producer Natasha Singer, 37. At the time, she was married to a movie producer, Garrett Barron, whose credits include Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Sword of Destiny. She was also a close friend of Robach. In fact, it was Robach who helped Holmes salvage his marriage after wife Marilee Feebig, 44, learned of his infidelity with Natasha. But neither Robach or Holmes' 12-year marriages could survive the revelation of their affair, which began as a friendship, fizzing with obvious chemistry and crossing the line last year. Holmes' wife filed for divorce shortly after Christmas. Robach divorced from her husband, former Melrose actor Andrew Shue, 55, is reportedly all but finalized. Professionally, their future still hangs in the balance, with ABC executive yet to make a final decision. The official line remains that the co-hosts turned lovers will be out of their seats at the morning show's lunchtime slot indefinitely, as it should. So I'm going to break this down, my darlings, into 3 parts. We're going to have Jasmine, we're going to have TJ, and we're going to have Amy. Jasmine was 24. Jasmine, you were old enough to know what was going on. So I don't want to have this, oh, woe me. You knew what was going on. You were a young girl in this beautiful, big, concrete jungle called New York. And you were so starstruck because over in Ohio, you would sit in front of the television and you would watch where you are now at. And you're saying to yourself, OMG. I think that you were just really starstruck. You were overwhelmed. And yes, you were a little bit naive in the sense that you thought he just might leave his wife and marry you and be with you. And then you could be what? A correspondent, and you could sit across him for the afternoon slot and your career will flourish. A lot of young girls do that. You're single, you're young, you don't know the responsibilities, you don't know what it takes to be married, to have children, to have a home, to have a career, to have husband, in-laws, to have play dates. You were part of the destruction of Marilee's life. So I cannot, as a married woman, give you any kind of empathy. You should have crossed your legs because you knew from where he was drinking and he was looking seductive into you and through you that yes, something was going to happen. You opened your legs and you let it happen, and you enjoyed that entanglement, and you repeated it repeatedly, and gave him your address to come to your house, to come to your apartment for more entanglements. No, you're not a kid. You were 24. You knew better. The thing here is that once he had gotten every single thing from you, all the sugar, all the salt, all the spice, everything, he didn't want you no more. And that's what a lot of married men do. They're not going to give up their marriage for you. Why? TJ wasn't prepared to even give it for Amy. He just got caught. And merrily said, you know what? Out. And so what happened, my darling Jasmine? You have to go to work and see him every day. And he's looking at you and not looking at you. As a matter of fact, extra torture, he's gone on to somebody else. It was there in the article. There was another intern who rejected his advances. That's exactly what you should have done, Jasmine. I understand. I understand you've never been thrown into that kind of whirlwind of magic, and you're going for drinks, and you're going to all of these wonderful places in Manhattan. Tavern on the Green was one of my favorites. I lived for it, and all these fabulous hotels just for drinks. That's all he's prepared to spend on you. Any man that has sex with you in an office has no respect for you. You are garbage before he's even thrown you out. And I just want you guys to know, mama's talking true facts. He should have made love to you. He should have been sweet. He should have been tender. There should have been dinners. There should have been little tokens, little gifts. He should have been considerate of you at the workplace and really not want anybody to know. You should have had conversations, how you grew up, where you grew up, what are your dreams, what are your aspirations. He should have mentored you. He should have told you what to do, where to go, what not to say, how to dress. He should have done all of that. You should have taken notes. And if he wasn't giving you any of that, but giving you a third poke between your legs, you should have said, stop. Stop. Did you not learn anything before you left Ohio? I know TJ is a dog, but I'm not going to put this on him. No, it was consensual. And that is where you have to take accountability. I'm so happy that you are now married and you have other things going on with your life. You're a beautiful woman. You're going to have children. Can you now imagine if your husband was sleeping with a 24-year-old, how you would feel? Ladies, you have to be considerate of our sisters that are in marriages, because a lot of women will really hold it down for so many camps. You have to be considerate that that is her backyard and you don't step up in there. Not at all. And so in a way, you did get what you deserved. You did. You went in there with no consideration of merrily. I don't think merrily even came up once in your head. Instead, you were crying. You were upset. Oh my God, look at how he's treating me now. And I had sex with him in the office. And then after that, I give him my address. He came over. He never bought anything. He never gave me anything. And that's what guys do. Because you know what? They're just there for the cookies and that's it. But you allowed it. And now you feel bad. And I want other girls to understand. Don't do this in the office. Don't do this with the boss. Married boss with the ring, he's not into you. He's only interested in what's between your legs. That's it. And once he dumps you, you're going to feel really horrible about yourself, and your self-esteem will go right down to the ground. Don't do that. It takes a minute for you to build yourself back up. You know what? I'm going to be real. It's even happened to me. And I said, absolutely not, with his old ass. And I was 20. 19. And he was 40 and he was old. That's what I thought at the time. And I said, absolutely not. No. I don't want you. Get out of here. I knew better. You do know better. But you get overwhelmed and everything is spinning and you think, oh my God, I just came from Ohio. Is this how it works? My dream come true? No. And also, how you get them is how you lose them. You got the example right there. How he's being dirty with his wife, being dirty on you is how he dirtitized you. That's a new word. Yeah, I just made it up. So Jasmine, I'm very happy for you, but no, I'm not going to blame it on TJ. It was consensual. You also agreed. Had you turned him down, then this would not have been an issue. This would not have been a situation. Then we would know about lemon love. Then we'd know you about other things. But you're attached to this because you attached yourself to it. And so girls, don't do that, because you guys let me know in the comments. For me, this is not new news. This is what they've been doing. They do this in all of the establishments and their offices and the networks. This is what they do. They are sleeping with each other left and right. Disgusting. That's all I can say. Disease. Oh my God. Was there protection, Jasmine? Do you see what I'm talking about? You will find yourself in a situation where you can end up getting pregnant. That could have been a situation. And I'm referring to all the Jasmines out there. Don't do it. It's not worth it. TJ, do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see? Some people will say I was a little bit too harsh with you in the first 2 episodes. No, I was not. I said it. You weaponized your position and you were sleeping with these beautiful, innocent young girls that did not know any better, that were coming from all of their cities where they were sheltered, where they were really naive, and they had never experienced anything like this. Most especially the guys, the swaggers, that dress the way they dress in that concrete jungle called New York City. Absolutely not. And you weaponized the position that you had, and you were sleeping around unmerrily. That's one. But do you not see how you just really disgraced yourself, and you did not even know it? You know, you were there and people were looking at you and they were disappointed within, because you are put on a pedestal. This is a guy heavily talented. You really are about your business when it comes to on-air presentation and on-air presence and charisma and really doing your job 110%. I'll give you that anywhere, anyway. And you're a good-looking man and you had it, and I think that went to your head and you just got the God complex and you thought, I can eat everything on this table. And like the hog that you are, you were sleeping around with everything and anything that was moving, and you were damaging these girls and you were damaging their self-esteem. That is why everything is crawling up out of the past, coming to choke your neck. Because why? It's called catch-up time. It's called payout time. It's like taxes. They come and duck your pay. And you could have been discreet, but you weren't even discreet. Not at all. And you were doing that with interns. And there was another woman who lost her marriage because of what you were doing. I don't think they will bring you back. Not because it's not fair. Not because, oh, they should bring Amy back. They should bring you back. I'm not saying that Amy is any good. Amy, I'm coming to you in a minute. Hold on. But because while they're trying to figure out what's going on, more stuff is coming out about your infidelities. Your whole marriage to Marilee is looking like it's a lie. It's looking like it's a lie. You married 12 years, but you were having an affair with Jasmine, and you were only 5 years into that marriage. So right there, 7 years, it's a lie. And I also come to find out you have 2 older children because you got married in college. That one too went bust. So this is your track record. I am now beginning to discover that this is who you are. Ah, what a waste. What a waste. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, TJ. You know, Fumi Nation, they keep me updated. They also told me that you worked at BET. So who's to say BET might not even want you now? If they don't take you back at Disney, because Disney owns Good Morning America, God knows where will you go? Where will you go? Where will you go? You had these lovely young girls who wanted a mentor, who looked up to you. You were on this pedestal. You were everything. But you preferred to be what? To live in the mud, like a pig, be in the dirt. That is who you are. You are dressed so nicely, but inside of you, you're a dirty little pig. That's what it is. Dirty little pig. And yes, Good Morning America has an issue on their hands, because if they bring you back, then it's like, what are we saying? It's okay to behave like this. It's okay to be having multiple affairs and relationships with interns and making them feel insecure because you are weaponizing your position. Not a good look. Not a good look for a wholesome Good Morning America, where they want to have families and they can feel safe to have children and have lovely discussions. No, it is not. They don't feel safe. And I get it. I get it. Does it have anything to do with your job? No. Don't talk about, oh yes, because you catch feelings. It's more than that. Had Amy's camp, TJ's camp, you had publicly announced with your spouses in unison at the same time that we are separating, but we love our families and will continue to love and support each other. Then you had caught a breath and you had waited 6 months, and then you had now come to your network and said, we're having a relationship, myself and Amy. Okay. And then you had publicly announced, yes, we're having a relationship. It would have been television gold. Yes, the ratings would have gone up and they would have stayed up. You see this right here, when you come back, there will be ratings because we want to see. What is it that we can't see? What is it that we can't see? But after that, there's a distaste. Nobody wants to see a cheat. That's the thing. You know, you didn't have to attach that to your resume. You could have done it in a very clean and precise fashion where we'd say, well, it is what it is. Why? Because people do fall in and out of love. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to do it the right way. That is what I'm talking about. That is my gripe with you. And then on top of that, where you're kissing in Miami and you can see Amy is hung onto you. Ooh, let me also say something, TJ. You see, all the women, including your wife, that you have done dirty on, Amy is the one that's going to show you. Amy is going to be the one that's going to deal with you. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Amy can't see past you. Amy loves you. But there's a thin line between love and hate. By the time Amy catches all of her bearings and finally understands, because the time will come, guaranteed, because you are who you are, that you don't love her anymore, because she might think that you do. She's going to spin her head like Exodus, and you are going to see the worst version of a female. It's going to be this blonde Amy, 49-year-old Amy, that's going to show you what you have never seen before. The wrath of her is going to be so intense that you will plead for mercy and apologize to all of your past relationships. It's going to be Amy. It's always like that. You can't see it now. But Amy, what do they call, what's that film? Single white female. Amy is giving me single white female vibes. Multiple stabbing knife vibes. She's giving me those vibes. The way she hung on to you in Miami, she was in absolute bliss. She couldn't care. She said it. If I don't get my job back, I don't care. She really doesn't care. You can see. She's hugging on you. She's holding you. She doesn't care. This is a woman with 2 children. 2 girls. She's left one husband to go to another husband, of whom you sat across with Amy and interviewed while you were sleeping with her. I mean, when I tell you, you guys have no code, you have no code because you knew each other. Yes, you did, to an extent. Even Amy came to try to patch you and Mary Lee together. That's just low. That's just no codes. That's no principle. That's just low. That's why this is news.
Wow, it's a love story like none other you're about to hear about, folks. This is the part of the show. Really, we joke, we laugh, and we're having a good time here, but these are absolutely 2 of my favorite people on the planet. So, of course, you all know Amy Robach and her husband here, Andrew Shue, who's a dear, dear friend as well. Well, even though they're having fun here and they can smile and laugh and hug and kiss, these are 2 folks who got together, both divorced, and also she had 2 girls, he had 3 sons, and that family came together. Wasn't always easy. It wasn't always easy, but now here they are. So check this story out.
So I think we can now officially say we are better together.
Definitely.
Oh.
Yuck. Oh, you guys.
Does anyone need an insulin shot? Does anyone need an insulin shot?
That was good. They are better together. The name of the new book, of course.
But I promise you, Amy, she's going to be the one. While we're on the subject of Amy, oh my God, I know how you see it. You're seeing everything through rose-colored lenses. I love TJ. TJ is going to be different from me. TJ is going to love me. I'll give everything to TJ. And I tell you this, the way you got TJ, you're going to lose him and worse. He will never be yours. He's not yours still. No. I would say that he belongs to his children before he'll ever belong to you, because of the crass way that you guys have presented all of this. You guys think that you're 16. Nobody's impressed. Really and truly. Nobody's impressed. This kind of, oh, we've really found love, is a hot mess. TJ right now is just in your panties. And that's it. He didn't even plan for this thing to come out. It just, Daily Mail brought it out. Daily Mail! Guys, when I tell you Daily Mail is something else. Daily Mail is a British tabloid. And when I tell you, they are brutal. They are brutal. They got everybody everywhere. You don't know who is working for Daily Mail. And they were the one that released the story. And so the hand was forced. It's not that TJ openly came out and said he wants to declare love to you. And here you are in the park and you're taking the dog from Andrew. You're sharing the dog. You're miles apart like so. Is it worth it? Amy, you're going to find out in due time that it was not. That this was a terrible mistake for you, for your career, for your families, for your daughters, for your self-esteem. This was terrible for you. But this is what you wanted. And it's always like that. It's what I want at that time. Well, here it is. You got it. Enjoy it for whatever delusional time you got left. Guys, don't forget to like, to subscribe, to hit the notification button. Give me some super thanks. And let's get the conversation popping in the comment section. And you guys let me know what we are working with. Alrighty? And TJ, if I were you, if there's more coming out, let us know. Don't even bother with Daily Mail. Just say, you know what, this, and this, and this, okay? Because Fumi Nation keeps me abreast. And yeah, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Like you said it, you know, you don't want the week to keep going on and on and on. Well, guess what? Careful with what you wish for. Because it's going on and on and on. And we're here to report it. How about that? All my love, darlings. Okay, I'm hungry. Let me go and eat some lunch. See you later, my darlings. See you later, alligator. In a while, crocodile. All of my love. Bye.